How's it going, guys? My name is Joseph, and this is going to be the first video in my Flutter UI series. And this series is just going to be me picking out a particular UI that I like, probably from Dribble or UI movement. This one is from Dribble, and I'm just going to try and recreate it in Flutter. And yeah, hopefully you can follow along, and hopefully you can learn something too. I'm learning something myself. That's why I'm kind of doing this. I'm kind of putting myself out there, so like, if I'm talking about it, I have to know about it. And if you find some way that I'm doing something, if you know of a better way or just different, please let me know. I'm always open to learning. And yeah, let's get started. This particular UI is from Dribble by Aaron Eicher. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. It's a tab bar active animation. And I really like, well, actually just that, the active animation, right? Like, I like how it emphasizes what is being picked, and also you can see how it de-emphasizes what is also being picked, like that little shimmy, I would like to call it. And yeah, let's try and recreate this in Flutter. I already created a project. I'm sure if you've used Flutter before, you know about this default project. Like, it's just, let me actually just start this up. It's just a regular counter. It shows you how to set state work. We are just gonna, we don't need the theme data. And we don't, So we are, yeah, let's just remove the whole thing. So we are going to, yeah, let's remove the actual stateful widget itself. It's gonna error out, but that's fine. So we are going to say stateful. Yeah, stateful. Oh wait, stateful with animation controller, because we do need that. We are going to need that, and let's just call it tab bar challenge. And it's pretty cool. It already created the animated animation controller for us. We are gonna create it eventually to do some of the animation, so we get that for free, right? So yeah. And I know a lot of people actually use VS Code, but I like, well, I have experience with IntelliJ, so yeah, this is kind of, interesting. Oh yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, this is tab bar challenge. And so yeah, there we go. And we do super dot, yeah, nice. So let's, yeah, it's gonna show blank because, well, we are just returning a container right now. But if we return a scaffold, and let's do background color that white. Now we should have at least colors.white. Now we should at least have a white background, but let's try, oh yeah, we're going to get to this. So let's try and keep it to this color. And I believe they also already have the color here. I don't like how, like, you have to click it to see, like, maybe I just want to see the color here, right? Like, I don't know. I don't like that. I feel like as a place for UX, that's particularly bad UX. Like, I can't see the colors. I have to click the color. Or maybe I'm just not doing it right. So let's go here. I'm just going to say const color 0x ff for the opacity, and then, so yeah, we have our background now, right? So I created the background color. Now I just need the bottom navigation bar. So let's do new bottom navigation bar. So the items is null, and so now we have to create our items, right? And I'm not that good at Photoshop, so I am just gonna use the existing material icons, like, and I haven't seen anything that looks like this. So we're going to replace this with something else, right? Like, I actually have a list here already. Yeah, actually I have a list here already, so it kind of goes like, so let's say home, and you see home, I don't see like a dial or anything. I haven't been able to find anything for that. If you guys know what keyword I'm missing, please let me know. But if you look at the themes, and if you look at the actual tab bar, you will notice something. The selected icon is filled with color, but the what's it called? But the unselected is just an outline, right? So we're actually gonna use two tabs here, right? We got interesting. Yeah, we're actually gonna use two. All right. So as you can see, there's a difference, right? The difference is that this is filled, the second one is filled, and the first one is not filled, which is exactly what we want, right? Yeah, which is exactly what we want. And if we look back to this, the icon is filled and the selected is filled, but the icon isn't filled. The unselected isn't filled. And there is a cool like wipe of fill animation, which yeah, we'll get to that later. Right, so now let's do this. Let's create four, right? Let's create four, and now let's, oh, I should have. All right, so now let's go back to our things, which is camera alt. Actually, yeah. Oh yeah, you couldn't even see that. Camera, files, and profile. Right, so we have that. Oh, and another thing is that this is a caveat about bottom bar navigation items that you might have figured out if you use it often, or yeah, I'll just say. So there are two types. Like when you instantiate a bottom bar, it is always, you can also instantiate a type, whether it's shifting or whether it's fixed. If you actually look into the source code, this is the variable I'm talking about, type, bottom navigation bar type. So if it is, it defaults to, hold on, the type is fixed and hold on, let's see, give me a sec. Actually, it doesn't default to anything, but this is the cool part, right? Well, not cool part, it's a caveat that's gotten me before in the past. So if you look at this particular code, like if it's null, if you didn't put anything in it, and it pretty much says if the length is 3. Right now we have 3 icons. If the length is 3, say it's fixed, right? But if I add, if it's greater than 3, so let's do this. So now it's shifting. Now I have a problem, right? Now it's not as what I want it to be. Hold on. Oh. OMI. Icons, camera alt. Yeah, so now it's not as like I want it to be, but I still want it to be like previously, and thankfully there's a way to do that. And you just kind of say type is fixed, right? So that should fix it, yeah. And let me just do the rest of the icon names. Where are my icons? Insert drive file and profile. Oh wait, or my icons, the person. So now we have something similar to the, yeah, again, the home. I mean, I feel like the icon itself is not what we're doing. We're trying to emulate the functionality. So yeah, use your imagination, right? So, right, so now that we have that, we actually, let's talk about the colors, right? So if we make this and make this bigger again, and this is the color of the actual actual bar. So we are going to do that. We are going to say background color, const color OXFF, and then bam. So wait. Oh, yeah. Nope. Where is it? Oh wait. So now we have this, which is pretty cool. But now the colors are pretty hard to see. So I'm gonna have to make. So I think it's unselected color. Yeah, unselected item color, colors dot gray, just so that we can see them. And I think, oh wait, no, it's not even const now. Gray. just so we can see them. Yeah, this is good enough. And now we're gonna have to do the selected color, selected item color, and then so this is hold on. This is a selected item color because this is the background. So yeah, let's do this first, or we can do this. Actually, let's pick one of them. Let's pick anyone, right? So color, const color, OXFF. Right? Yeah, I think it's this. All right. So far so good, right? And I mean, I'm clicking it and it doesn't change yet, but hold on, maybe we have some other stuff to do. Let me close tabs to the right. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, everything's kind of going along. Actually, let me show you. So yeah, so far so good. This is a much better view. So yeah, everything's kind of coming along. It isn't selecting yet, so we're not gonna do. We are gonna do that next. So yeah, so now let's go back to the code and let's try and like add some behavior to this. So we do this on tap, and actually this on tap is a type dev that has a new index. Oh, an integer which will give us a new index. All right, so we do that and we say, oh wait, yes, oh good, this is already it. So we say int selected index. So yeah, we say int selected index equals 0. Let's start with that, and then we actually say selected. I believe it's index, current index selected. Yeah, it's the same thing, right? So new index is so set state. We're gonna do a little set state here. Selected index equals to current index or new index, and then we should be able to see. Oh, interesting. Why is it saying that? Did I might have to hard restart because I introduced a variable. But yeah, it was because I introduced a variable. We'll find out anyway. Yeah, it was because I introduced a variable. So yeah, let's go for keep going. And now we actually want like there to be a selected icon, right? So we can do selected icon. Actually no, because we want the yeah, no. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Actually, interesting. I know there's a selected icon. Active icon. It's called active icon, but we're not gonna get there yet. So we want there to be a stack. All right, we want there to be a stack between we want both the selected icon and the unselected icon to be on top of each other, and then once it's selected, we want to like kind of phase one out. Right now, yeah, let's just one, we have to parameterize this. We are in that stage where like we can parameterize this, right? So we can say tab bar item model. And so what do we need? We need a icon data, and what icon data is unselected icon, and then final icon data selected icon, and then we also need the text, right? Final string text. Right, so we are going to we're going to create a constructors for these, and then what are we going to do? We are going to return, yeah, let's make this a stateless widget, but yeah, let's make this a stateless widget. So bar item icon, and let's say, for example, let's say this is a stack. It returns a stack, right? And for all you guys unfamiliar with what a stack is, it pretty much stacks its children. Like it, one of its properties is children, and it stacks its children. So what's gonna happen is this icon is gonna take it's gonna take both of these, right? So it's gonna take both of these, and then we're going to call this, and then it's gonna say icon unselected. Unselected is the bottom one, remember? And then icon. Oh yeah, and the bottom one is the one that's last. It goes from bottom top, so you'll see. But whatever I put on the bottom is also what's gonna be last. And then selected icon, right? Named parameter. Hold on. I don't need the key. Okay. No, I don't care. Yeah. Do I really want it to have whatever. Let's do add required. Let's say icon data. Add required. I do require icon data. Okay. And then it's gonna be this, and then the unselected icon equals unselected icon, and then selected icon equals selected icon. Right. So selected icon equals selected icon, and then we're just gonna say and then text. This text is gonna be so simple. It doesn't have to be like a stateless widget. Like it's just gonna be get text widget, and then it's just gonna be get text widget, and then it's gonna be just literally this text, and then text. Alright. Yeah, it doesn't need. I don't see the need for this to be a text icon. So we're gonna change this. Actually, yeah, we're gonna change this. Interesting. Let's make a constant for this, like final. Actually, can it be const? Yeah, const bar models. So it's gonna be bar model tab bar model item model, and then what's this gonna be? Or the unselected is ornament icons dot home, and then icons dot home, and then the text is gonna be home. I was gonna type only. Oh yeah. Is it? Can it be const? Yeah. No. Yeah, my bad. It's gonna be final. So I can also do this to make things easier. And then we can say this 3, 4. So we are going to say home, and what's the camera? Camera alt, I believe. Camera alt, and then camera. We are also gonna say files, and then files. Oh no, insert drive alt, and then no, this is files. Insert, and then I believe the next one is person profile. And yeah, so far so good. And actually, I feel like we can just say bar items, right? No, we can't. No, we cannot. Yeah, let's just say bar 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 items equal pretty much this. And I know I can do like a for spread inside this, but we're gonna have more logic that kind of isn't, yeah, we're gonna have more logic. But what I mean by for spread is pretty much this. Like say for, actually I can do this either. Bar item, no, bar models, bar model. Okay, so it's gonna be for, yeah, I have to also update the SDK, but this is what I mean. And actually we might just leave it like this for now. Update, so get dependencies. Yeah, we might have to, so we, in here we'll just say bar item, bottom navigation item bar. So icon will be bar item icon, and then it's just gonna be bar model. I'm gonna fix that, bar model dot unselected icon. No, nope. It's gonna be bar model dot. Give me a second. Yeah, actually no, that's right. And then bar model dot selected icons, right? And then title would just be bar model dot title text widget. So this will work the same. Yeah, and you see like it's kind of, yeah, it has a field, but that's because we're not making one an opacity based on another one. But pretty much this is a for spread, I believe it's called. Like this is an array, and I'm saying, oh, you have this array, just run a for loop inside that array. If I didn't have to do that, you already saw what I was planning to do in spite of that. Or yeah, so I was just gonna say, oh, I'm gonna create an array, run a for loop, blah blah blah, and then add something in it. And I'm probably still gonna do that because I need more logic, but for now, this is good enough. You do have to update the Dart to be 2.2, like you said, like the compiler said. So yeah. So now we have that. So now we've come across our next challenge, and that is we need one of them to be invisible when the other one isn't invisible. So what are we gonna do about that? We're gonna have to wrap these inside opacity widgets, right? So we're gonna have to say opacity, and then also opacity. Oh, have a new widget, opacity. Oh yeah, these require opacity. Yeah, opacity. And where are we gonna get that from? We are going to get it from final double opacity, double selected icon opacity, and then we're gonna do final double unselected icon opacity. So yeah, we're gonna have to do this as well. So yeah, that's weird. Like I feel like oh wait, no. Give me a sec. It's weird that the compiler itself or IntelliJ. Yeah, you see, this shouldn't be happening. This is probably a bug, right, guys? Like it's IntelliJ itself that's giving me the wrong thing. Well, yeah, I mean, we've already started, right? Yeah, I mean, I see what I'm thinking right now is that there's no reason for me to make them private, but we've already started. And this might be the sunk cost fallacy talking, but yeah, I'm just gonna say it too. Icon opacity, and then required icon. Oh wait, selected required double unselected icon opacity. What's it called? All right, so now we are actually gonna do this. Wait, selected icon. What are you talking about? Yeah. Oh yeah. So now we're gonna do selected icon opacity equals unselected icon opacity, and then we're gonna do selected icon selected. Oh, I guess I spelled this wrong. Oh wait, yeah, I wasn't paying attention. And let's change this. This is my perfection syndrome coming through. Like, oh no. All right, so there we go. Now this is gonna be unselected icon opacity, and this is gonna be selected icon opacity. Oh yeah, it's a yeah. That is fair. Yeah, that's fine. We're airing out, but that's because we haven't passed in anything. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a little condition, and we're going to say, hey, bar model. Oh, yeah, no, this has to be a int I now, right? Because we need the index. So int I. Do we? Give me a second. Yeah, no, we don't need it here. So, all right. So selected, unselected. What the, oh, never mind. I was like, what's going on? Oh, commas. Bar model. Yeah. So this is gonna be final. Yeah, we're just gonna have the same thing here. But we're not gonna create it. Yeah, and it's gonna be, hold on, double, actually. So we're not going to create it. It's gonna be, actually, yeah, it's gonna be 0, 0 right now. And it is not gonna be private because we are gonna give it back. And then we're going to say right here, set opacity, like set selected. We're gonna have on change on top, right, on bar change, on bar index change. The name doesn't matter. So boolean is if it's selected, right? So if it is selected, right, so that means that selected icon opacity is 1 and unselected icon opacity is 0. Or, and the opposite is just the opposite, right? Let's copy this. Yeah, I need to watch my posture. Alright, so now it's just gonna be bar model dot unselected icon opacity, and then selected icon opacity is just selected icon opacity. Yep, and they're both 0. Why? Because we're not. Oh, okay, I get why. Because I'm not saying them yet. So on index, so I'm actually gonna go through the whole thing. For int I equals 0, I plus bar models dot length. We can say 4, but length is better. 4. So we're going to say bar model I dot yeah. Okay. Raw model is bar models. Alright. So I'm gonna say var over here. And then bar model dot on bar item change. And it's selected just if I equals selected index. So okay, so you see it's changing now. Like we don't get that weird effect anymore. And but there is the issue of like, let's say, let me do a hard restart. It should show up. Okay, so you see when I restarted it, like yeah, it's doing it. But if I don't press anything, you see how everything is what's it called, blank, right? That's because we aren't setting the first thing, and we are going to do that. I guess we can do that here. Oh yeah, and we can do this, right? We can make this into its own function. You can just say void int new index. Actually, where are you? There we go. So, and we can call it the same thing on bar tab or something on, yeah, nav tab, just to make it a little different. And then we can say on nav tab here. There we go. So we are actually gonna say here in the init state, state, we're gonna say nav tab. Yeah, we're just gonna say 0. You know, we're gonna call it itself. So it should reload, and actually let me reset. There we go. You see, so now only the first one is selected, and we're not getting that weird everything is blank because we've said the first one is 0. So yeah, now only the selected. And I believe that like if you look at the bar item, it already has the icon or in the active icon. So honestly, we're bypassing that because we're trying to create the fill effect. So yeah, that's why. So if you don't need to create this fill effect, just fall back to the active icon parameter of the bar item and you'll be fine. You don't have to create a stack. But yeah, so far so good, right guys? Like we're here. Yeah, we've created it. And now what do we need, right? We need the, what's it called? We need our indicator right here. So yeah, we need this little blue indicator. Yeah, and what's the color here? We'll need it later. So, but I mean, for that to work, it will kind of have to also, the bar itself also has to be a stack, right? Because it's kind of on top, right? From what, that's my approach. That's how I'm going to approach it. It's on top of the icon, and once it moves, the text or the title will be invisible, or the opacity will be 0 if you're trying to be more technical. Give me a second. All right, so let's go for that, and blah blah blah. And this, yeah, let's make this. Actually, let's make another file. All right, icon can also go there. And let's see, let's restart this, and hopefully nothing should break. Like, I feel like I did this correctly, but those are famous last words, right? Yeah, nothing broke. So good. Yeah, we refactored correctly, guys. Okay, oh devs. Right, so now we are going to make this a stack. and children actually. Change to children. All right. Right, so far so good. And now we are going to implement a container, right? And then we are going to, because the container is circle, we're gonna have to do a box decoration and the color. We are going to use this. Const color. Oh, give me a second. Actually, no. Yeah, it did not like that. Why? Am I missing an extra FF? Okay. Oh, ha ha ha. Well, I brought in the container, guys. So now we do size. Size. Height. Yeah, I can do height 10. Width 10. Well, yeah, that's good enough. So yeah, and then we have our what is this? Oh yeah, shape is gonna be box shape. That circle, right? So yeah, we have our little icon over there. Well, it's not gonna move yet, but yeah, so far so good. And now we have to put this in a position, and the reason we're putting this in a position is because, well, as you see here, yeah, it's kind of moving with the selected icon, right? So, but I'm not actually gonna make this in the middle of the text because the text is different lengths, right? I'm gonna make this in the middle of the icon, right? So I guess the challenge we're facing is how do you get the absolute position and size of a widget in Flutter? There's a couple of ways you could get the render box. I believe I can link that on the show notes, or not even the show notes. I listen to way too many podcasts. I can do Flutter size. Right. So there's this Medium article. It talks about like just getting the absolute size and stuff, but we're not gonna do that. Like, I mean, we can. There's nothing wrong with this. It actually works, but we're going to use this method. There's a rect getter, and it does just what that. It does this, right? Like, we don't have to do it ourselves. We just do a couple we do a couple of lines, and then it just we get the information, right? Like, if you see that once they click it, they get like the left, right, top, bottom, and that's what we're gonna do. Like, so and we only care about the x-axis. Sorry about that. We only care about the x-axis. We don't care about the top and bottom because the top is always going to stay the same. Actually, I can hard code that in. So position is let's see, left is bottom, I believe is 10. Yeah, so you see bottom, like, yeah, that's good enough for us actually. So now we just worry about the x, right? So we're gonna do that. We're gonna, if you look here, the process is you create a key, you pass it into the rect getter, and then you can get the size. So we are going to actually create a key in the model itself, right? All right, so we're going to say this final global key, Oh wait, no, I didn't even get the package. So final global key equal doc, icon position key. Let's do that. It's gonna complain, but we're going to ignore that for now. So rect getter, and then as usual, we're gonna have to close it because we're getting a new package. So yeah, we're gonna say our item model is equal rect getter dot create global key. So there we go. So now it works. So now we have this. So what we're gonna do is, well, we don't actually have to do anything because we do. We do. It's because we also have a getter, right? We have an implicit getter, and then we're going to say in here in the challenge, in here we're also gonna pass in a final global key, icon, icon, position key, pause key. Oh, give me a second. Wow, it's like one of those things where I have to sneeze, but I don't have to sneeze. It's annoying as hell. So and then we do require this as well. So global key, icon, position key, and oh wait, yeah, and then we're just gonna say, yeah, this is definitely this is a sunk cost fallacy. Like I know for a fact that I should just make it. Yeah, I'm too deep now, guys. Like I have to make this all private. Oh, I don't. I really don't. Yeah. So it's actually gonna be the stack, right? The stack is gonna be we're gonna pass in the stack here. So it's gonna be icon position key. So when we create the stack, it's gonna have this, right? And actually, nope. So actually, give me a second. It's gonna be rect getter. Yep. So we are going to, this is required, and so yeah, there we go, right? Oh, let me start this again. So now we have an icon key. We've passed it in. We've kind of inputted, injected a spy of sorts. Like we know all about it, but there is also still there is a problem with this, right? There's a problem in this in the fact that I'm asking for the, what's it called? I'm asking for the information about the layout, but the problem is that there is still the time. There's a edge case where I'm asking for the information about the layout, but the first frame hasn't been done yet. So we are going to have to pretty much only ask for this once the initial state or the first frame has been done. Like we have to make sure that's a case. So what we're gonna do is there's this thing called widget dot post frame callbacks. Oh, hold on, it's actually here. Yeah, post frame. Yeah, is this. So we are going to put this here. A little copy paste. Yeah, and this is gonna be our function, and we're gonna say, okay, now get the bar models. Like, so that this is the idea, right? In the bar item model, we have, let's say, double active names, man. Active icon. Actually, we can say, yeah, active icon position x equals 0, right? But we're gonna have to say update void update icon, right? So we're gonna have to do this, right? We're gonna do, give me a second. Actually, it's here. We don't have to think or anything. So rect.getRect. Oh yeah, we're gonna do this. Rect.getRect. From not this is not gonna be the global key. This is gonna be the icon position key. All right, and then we're gonna say right, just to see, active icon equals let's see rect dot get dot center dot dx, just for now, just so that we can see it actually works. We're still gonna have to offset it by a bit, but just so that we can see that it works. And what is it complaining about? Oh, all right, so this is gonna be, hold on. So once we get right. So now we go back here, right? Like once we have this, actually this also, oh wait, yeah, let's move this here too as well. You're gonna be complaining, that's fine, right? Oh, my icons. So what we're gonna do is, once this gets updated, and we're gonna do the, cause it's when the nav tap is happening, right? So we're gonna say, once you're doing this, and on bar item change, right? We're gonna say if you're selected, update icon position, right? Update, let me make that active icon position, right? So we're gonna say active icon position is this, right? And then we're going to say, because we have our challenge, yeah, we're gonna say this, but the position, the left, is gonna be bar models, selected index dot active icon position x. So I totally messed something up on tap. Get in center. Oh wait, I think I need to do a hard restart. Bye. Okay. Oh my god, I know why. That is so stupid. Oh my god. It's because of this. Because it's never 0. So what's happening is that, okay. So this is what's happening, right? Hold on, let me actually restart it. So before, I was calling on nav tap layout. I was creating a selected index before the first layout. So I was populating selected index to new index before the first layout was created. But now what I was doing is, I'm saying only create the first selected index after the first layout. But this was null. Basically, this is null before the first layout is created, but the first layout needed a value. So I just added this value here, and then, yeah, stupid. I mean, it wasn't. I actually saw the problem. I'm gonna, yeah. Okay, let's move on. All right. So now, so if you actually look at this, right, you can see that even though it's somewhere there, right, it's not exactly in the center. And that's because if we go down here to the place where we're updating the active icon position, so update, hold on, actually, Alt 7. So where are you? Or is it here? There it is. So here, you see we're just getting the center, right? And that's not good enough because we have to offset it by that translate. we have to translate it by the what's it called? We have to translate it by half of the circle, and we know that the circle is 10 because we gave it 10, right? So we gave it 10 here. We gave it 10 here. We have to update it. We have to say half of that. So we should get half of that now. So if we, so yeah. So you see it's now closer to, oh, let me just do that. So you see it's now closer to the center, right? You see how it's closer to the center. And now by the beautiful, that's the beautiful part about Flutter. So we just went to the position and we changed it to an animated position. And then it's going to complain about a duration. And then we are going to say duration, actually. Milliseconds, 250. So now it's actually gonna animate, right? Beautifully. And we can also say curve. Curve is curves dot easing out. You know, make it a little smoother. So yeah. So you see, and let's stop this. And I don't like the debug view that well. So anyway, but yeah, now we have our animated position right here. So now it's actually moving. And now what's the next part? We have to make the title. We have to make the title go, right? And so yeah. Now let's add something to that, right? We have to, well, one, where is the title? I mean the thingy. Yeah, we go. So now this is gonna be an opacity, right? Because I mean we can make it an animated opacity too. Let's look. Yeah, we can make it an animated opacity. It doesn't really matter that much. Opacity. So it needs two things: duration and opacity. So okay. And duration, let's make it a little bit shorter because I don't, yeah, let's make it like 200 milliseconds. Const duration milliseconds, 200 milliseconds. Yeah, so I mean right now it's not gonna do anything, but what we're gonna have to pass in here is gonna be text opacity. Yeah, let's just do, yeah, let's make all the opacities here. So text opacity is 0, well, 1. Text, this, the text opacity. Yeah, it's gonna complain slightly. Oh, not slightly, it's complaining. So, interesting. No, you're right. Yeah, we don't even need to pass it in here. It's gonna be created here, right? So if this is selected, it's gonna be text opacity equals 0, right? And if it's created here, it's gonna be text opacity equals 1. So if we save, we should be able to see go away. Nope. Why? Why? Oh, because I wasn't using it. That's why. There we go. There we go. So, yep, it's going away. I'm like, why is it not going away? It's not going away because I'm not using it. Okay, so there we go. So far, so good. And yeah, like let's look at our thing again. So we have this now. All that's left is the shimmy and the fill, right? I believe so, right? That's, yeah, the shimmy and the fill. Right. Yeah. So, okay. Let's actually get this on the roll. Yeah, it's coming together nicely. Right. And so main dart, yeah, is okay. So now we need the shimmy, right? Yeah. Okay. I just said that. Yeah. Never mind. So we need the shimmy, right? And so what are we going to do with that? We are going to use the translate of transform widget, which is the right here. We are going to go to, yeah, we're going to use the transform widget on this. And that was a challenge. Oh yeah, it was a challenge, and it was definitely fun learning how they worked. And bottom bar navigation items. Give me a second. Right, so unselected items. So give me a second. Wait, oh yeah, bar item icon. So now this is gonna be interesting. This is the most interesting part. We are going to wrap this up in give me a second. Do you want the rect getter? Do we want the rect getter to be wrapped in this? Okay, so yeah, we'll figure that out. So we are going to wrap this up in a transform dot rotate, and it's gonna require an angle. Let's say 0 for now. So nothing's changed, right? But this is the weird part. Like you could, I don't know, oh no, origin, right? So the reason, like you could set your own origin, but by default, the transform.rotate widget, I don't know about every other rotate widget, but it kind of makes sense they work the same way. What they do is that they rotate around the center, and this one in particular rotates clockwise, I believe. Right, so it rotates clockwise. So let's look at a unit circle, right? Circle. Images. So if you look at this, right, pi over 6 is over here, and pi over 12 is somewhere over here. I believe they say it was 15 degrees. It is 15 degrees. Yeah, 15 degrees. So even though the pi or the unit circle is kind of going counterclockwise, it's best to think of it like it's going like this is just a displacement, and it's going clockwise. So pi over 6 will actually, pi over 12 will actually take us this way, right? So, but if we want to like keep it like this, we have to pretty much invert it. So we could say something like, let's say we could, we could say something like this, pi over 12. So yeah, you see, so pi over 12 is going that way, even though the unit circle is saying it's going this way, right? So if you want to make sure it goes this way, we can just say this, negative pi over 12. You see, so that would kind of fix our problems. But so now that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna go from negative pi over 12 to 0, right? Actually, go here and here. So that's gonna be a sequence. Oh, yeah. Let me fix my posture. That's gonna be a sequence, right? It's gonna go from this here, right? And actually, if you look closely at what we're trying to achieve, the first half goes negative, or the first half goes counterclockwise, counterclockwise, then straight. But the second half always go clockwise and then straight. Like, see that? Like, open the link. I'll kind of move at my own pace, but if you look at it, the first half always goes counterclockwise straight, but the second half always goes clockwise and straight. So we're gonna have to create 2 separate sequences, and we could do that. I will also I will also post a link to that, and to how Flutter you can create a sequence manager. But as I've been doing throughout this video, it's just better to use what people have created already. So there's a sequence, Flutter sequence animation, right? So we don't have to create, because with the base or what Flutter creates out the box, you kind of have to you have to calculate the percentages and all that, but we don't want to do that. Like, yeah, we could do other stuff, right? So, and then, so let's put this in the pub spec. and then go here. So this is a more one, it's fluent, and two, it's easier. So we're just gonna do that. We have to close out this again. So again, like we said, there's gonna be two sequences. A first half of the tab sequence, which is counterclockwise pi over 12 to 0, and then clockwise. So we're gonna create that. That's what we're gonna create. And we have a controller already, which is, which I love, right? And so let's say I already create a mine here already. So sequence, actually, right. So I'm gonna do this. So sequence animation. All right, sequence animation. First half rotation animation. So we're gonna do this. So first half rotation. So we're gonna do sequence animation builder. Oh yeah, that's fine. We're gonna eventually do that. Interesting. Oh, ha 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 ha. God, man. This can be final. I don't think it'll change. I don't think this changes as well. So I think both of these can be final. No, they can't. Oh wait, can they? No, they can't because yeah. Never mind. Never mind. But they can be private. I need to look at the docs again for that. So first half rotation is this, right? Like bam. Right. So now we're going to add animatable. So what's gonna be tween? It's just gonna be double. Actually, by default, it's double, I believe. So beginning, remember, it's gonna be 0, and end is gonna be negative pi over 2, negative pi over 12, and then null is gonna be 0, because all this stuff is gonna take 250 seconds. So we're gonna want to do like a first half is 125, and the tag will be just rotation. Wait. Oh, I keep doing that. Second 0, and I can put const here. So const duration milliseconds is 250. Well, no, 150, right? And actually, let's finish it. I was about to put in the animation already, but let's finish it. Oh, come on. Dot add animatable, right? So what was that? Right. So it's gonna go from negative pi over 12 this time around to 0. And that's the thing, like they can't overlap. So it has to go from, oh wait, my math is wrong. My very simple math was wrong. Well, I corrected it, which is, I guess, the important part. And we can also add curves. So curves in and out. So yeah, curves ease in and out. So far so good. All right, so we have our controller. So now what do we do? Oh wait, let me start this again. Right. So now we have to make the icon shimmy. Yeah. Let's make the icon shimmy. We have the bar item icon, and we're gonna have icon rotation value equals, yeah, this is gonna be a bit complicated actually. Yeah, so hold on. So let's do this first with icon rotation value. Let's make everything like shimmy. I'm like a child. Why am I laughing at that? Right, so right, it's gonna be on tab. So right, so let's do bar model. Oh wait, so let's do this. Controller.reset. So whatever's been going on, we don't want it to keep going. Controller.forward. Alright. Well, I can actually just say 0, right? Huh. Wait, what? From 0, right? Right. Let's see what reset actually is doing, because I think that's what it's doing. Like, yeah, let's say 0. Well, if it doesn't, we can always change it, but I think that's enough. Making the value 0 is enough. So we have it up here. We can just say first animation rotation value, right? And it doesn't have anything here, so it's gonna complain. We are going to go to bar item icon. Interesting. Why is it not complaining anymore? Okay. Alright. Oh. Again, sunk cost fallacy. Yeah, we require this too. The double. And then final. Double. No, it's not going to be final. It's going to be double icon rotation. Double icon rotation equals, well, it's required, so it's never, well, let me not say that, and then it never, it can be null, but it should never be null, because you can't, it should. You know, the compiler usually has different ideas than what I do. So icon rotation, so icon rotation, yeah, that's fine. Oh, interesting. Why is it saying that? Controller.reset. Oh, shit. I know why. I know why. Damn it. Damn it. Right, it has to be here, actually. So it's this bar. Yeah. Is this has to be an animated builder. Animation. Oh yeah, controller. That's how it knows. I know, shut up. Bam. And then we are just gonna return this. Okay, so everything should be, there we go. You see that? Actually, I don't like how that looks. Okay, so this is a little too fast. So let's do half of a second. So 250, 251, and then 500. All right. So, bam, bam. Yeah, everything's kind of shimmying. So yeah, which is good, I guess. Which is very good. I like that. I like the shimmy. Now we have to distinguish. Oh no! Now we have to say second half shimmy. I don't know why that's so fun to me. Like I swear to God, I'm 5 again or something. So second half shimmy, and pretty much this pi and then pi. That's the difference. So now this is a little complicated, right? This gets very complicated really fast. We need a previous index, because if you look at this, like the previous index was shimmy too, and then yeah, int previous index equals 0. So we need a previous index. Why? There it is. What is this guy talking about? Oh, I know why. Okay, so now if you look at this, I'll explain it, right? If the selected index is the same as the previous index, this is pretty much like if we're starting off for the first time, or if you're clicking the same thing. So I don't want anything to happen when you're doing that. If that's the case, then if you're because if you look at this, right, the shimmy is happening on both the previous index and the selected index, but there's something that differentiates them, and that's what we're gonna work on later on. Like that's our next challenge. So if you are if you're the index that's being selected and the index that before, then you are viable for shimmy. And if you're the first half, right? If you're the first half, just give me the first half rotation. If you're the second half, give me the second half animation, or just return 0. Don't do anything. So now we're gonna pass this here. Where are you? Yeah. Where is this thing? Right. So right here, we're gonna pass it here. And yeah. So now we need to change this back. Yeah. We need to change this. Yeah. Now because I did say we needed previous logic. So now we have to do this. Bar model, bar items, right? So now I don't think we can do more than one line. It doesn't allow us to do. I believe no. I don't know. Yeah. And so bottom navigation bar item, right? So right, and then nope. So and then we say for int I equals 0, int I less than length, bar models dot length I plus plus, and then we're gonna say pretty much, hold on, let me copy that, I, and then we're gonna say this pretty much, oh wait, wait, oh no, oh yeah, no, this is definitely not good. Okay, I'm glad we kind of just, okay, because I made the animated building here, but I actually want to make it, no, okay, good thing I caught this. I actually want to make it here. Yeah, I actually want to make it here. So let me actually replace with children. Oh wait, now let me do this first. So yeah, I think I was calling something really badly, or maybe I'm doing the bad stuff now. Add get. All right. Oh wait, no. Hmm. Is there a new? Huh. That's. Oh yeah, no. It's all this bottom navigation bar item. Icon is this. Icon is. Oh wow. Did I just erase all that? Ugh, give me a second. Bottom bar items. Wait, how do I get it? Oh, never mind. No, I'll just do it like that then. Yeah. Let me just paste this. It's taking too long. Oh yeah, named it. All right. Bar item icon. Hey. Oh fuck. All right. So. Hey. All right. So I'm gonna just create bar items dot add new bottom navigation item. Icon is what? So I'm going to do this bar model equals bar models I. Title. Yeah. So this. This. Right, and then yeah, and actually the items is gonna be just, I believe, bar items. No, we did not like that bar. Rotation. What are you talking about? Get appropriate rotation value. Let me do this. Let me perform a hard restart. There we go. Nice. So you see only the previous and the first one is being selected. Hey, hold on. No, for some reason this is not going. Why is it only one? Okay. Give me a second. Why? Why? Why is the appropriate rotation always giving me 1? I know what. I know what. Because selected index, because when I nav tab, I'm never updating previous index. Or nav tab. Selected index, actually previous index equals selected index. Oh. Nice. So you see, it's not rotating anymore. If I'm clicking on the same spot, it's only rotating blah blah blah. When I'm clicking on new stuff, it's only shimmying. So there we go. Let's do a restart. Yeah, nothing's wrong. Yeah, we always have to do a restart because we're doing that first layout change. We always have to test our code against like the first layout state. Actually, do we have to? There's a problem. Yeah, and it's also doing this, right? Yeah, actually, let's work on that. Hold on, let's do that. Nope. All right. Oh, yeah. Let me know. So yeah, so far so good. It's working. Let's do another restart and I'll talk. I think I noticed a bug, but let's go for it. So now we have the shimmy, and we're almost close. We need to do what's it called? You see how it kind of goes up just a little bit? It goes up just a little bit, and we need to have that. We need to have, let's say, yeah, we need to increase the length as it's going up, if that makes sense. Like we need to say, hey, yeah, just go up just a tiny bit, right? And then for that, we're just gonna have a spacer, like a little, well, not a spacer, it's gonna be a container. And then we're just gonna increase the length just by a little bit. On, no, it's not gonna be a container. It's gonna be a size box. Yeah. So right here, actually, this is killing my creativity. Right, so we're gonna have this size bar in the icons. We already have a stack, right? So in this stack, we're gonna have, I believe, a column. We're gonna have a column, and then we have to change this to children. Convert to children. Oh, okay. So far so good. And let's do main axis size min. Yeah, we want to kind of squish everything as possible together. And so beneath the stack, we're going to have a size box. So okay, so everything's fine. So there's something there's a prerequisite for icons. The size by default is 24. Like, hold on. Yeah, if there's no icon theme or it does not specify an explicit size, then it defaults to 24. So what we're gonna do is we're going to make what's it called? We're gonna put this. We're gonna make this cause actually let's just get there naturally. Let's just say size height equals 2, right? So you see how I say 50. So you see how it kind of gets bigger as that size box also gets bigger. We don't want to do that. We want to kind of force it to stay the same size. So this column itself will always be in a size, right? And this rect getter is wrong now. So this rect getter will always give me the this rect getter will always give me the stack instead of a column, because I don't want to get the middle of the host column. So we are going to replace this with student. So, but hold on, let me see. Yeah, that's still working. It looks so weird now that it's taller. But so now we're gonna do this selected. We're gonna change this to 2. So even if we oh right, so we have to put this in a size box of its own. Sized box. And then, oh, is it fixed? Hold on, let's actually look it up. I'm pretty sure it's fixed. Yeah, we don't have to do anything. So yeah, right now this is fine. And then we're gonna have to increase this just by a tiny amount. Let's see here. Button icon. So now we have to create a size icon, right? We have to create a sequence animation for the size too. And yeah, we have to so do they have to be? No, actually these are just animations. Double lowercase d. So selected size animation, and then unselected size animation. Alright, so what are we gonna do here? And actually we have to create a duration for this now. Duration is actually duration lowercase is duration milliseconds is 500. Oh, come on. So now what do? We do unselected. We do selected size. Actually, let's put it here. Selected size animation equals tween. Double. It has to be a double. Begin is, it goes from 0 to 2, and then end is 2. Dot animate is control. Unselected. Okay, hold on. Unselected. Oh, wait. Right. 6. Okay. So yeah, that's good. And then we have to say when we have to get the appropriate size, right? And it's the same thing. It's not complex, but it's a lot. So I'm just gonna paste it here. Yeah, but pretty much what this is gonna do is this. It's gonna say if this is the same thing, if the index is the same as the previous index, return make it big already. Don't go through the animation. Either give it 2 or give it 0. If the index is equals to the selected index, that means they're going to a new index. Then just actually give you the selected animation. And if the index is also the same as this is unselected. If it's the previous index, then we want to shrink it. But if it's everything else, just say bye. And then let's see. We are going to pass is in right here. So we're gonna say lift size, right? So we're gonna say I. So add name parameter, double lift size, kind of required. It is required. So, and then we are going to add lift size. Lift size equals lift size. Okay, yeah, why is you? Yeah, I understand. I gotcha. So we're gonna have this lift size. So yeah, let's reload. Let's do a hard reload, and I feel like that's the problem here. So it's gonna get bigger, yeah. And let me show you guys. It's gonna get bigger, actually. Yeah, you see it get. I don't know if you can see it, but it is getting just the tiniest bit bigger. Actually, now comes I believe. Oh wow, yeah, we're really close. Now comes the shimmy. Oh, not the shimmy. Now comes the fill, and I don't know. Like I ran into a problem trying to do that, and actually, let me show you guys. Hold on. So I have a test up, right? I might have to use Flare for that. Like, so give me a second. So this is what I was gonna do, right? I was gonna rotate it, and then I was gonna have a custom clipper just animate the reveal percent, right? And it doesn't do that, right? Okay, all right. So I haven't been showing you guys that. I'm gonna try and edit that out, even though I'm not an editing genius. Basically, what I've created is this, right? I've created a container and a colors.red, right? Like just a container, and I created a custom clipper. The clipper right now doesn't even show anything, right? It's just saying, it's just, right now it's showing everything actually. But if the angle is 0, let me, oh wait, yeah, it doesn't matter actually. So let's change this back to a transform widget. Now rotate, come on. Rotate, and then let's say angle is 0, right? So it doesn't care. It just says whatever, right? So if I do 0, it doesn't care. But if I do pi over 12, anything other than 0, it bugs out, right? Like yeah, anything other. Oh wait, yeah, anything other than 0, right? It just bugs out, right? Like it doesn't have. And even 2 pi is the same as like it's supposed to go back. It's like a full circle, right? So if I do this, right, and like hold on, and then okay, I want to show you guys this actually. Let me not do that just yet. So let's say I change this into a rotation transition, which is just a widget that turns that rotates this child, right? And so let's say I do rotation, right? It's not going to do anything, right? But as soon as I click it, oh, and I wrap this around a gesture, a gesture detector. So if it's going to start rotating. So as soon as I click it, it just says, you know what, bye. I don't know why. It's crazy. And if I do this actually, listener somewhere, when complete, right? Okay, that's the listener. So let's say when complete controller dot reverse or whatever, right? reset. I was on backwards. Interesting. Anyways, so reset, right? So when it's finished, it's gonna go back and it's gonna show again, right? Yeah. So if I made this 2 seconds, so it's for some reason it doesn't like any number other than 0. So if I do, and let me just print, right? Let me print rotation value. Oh, actually, right? So wait, why is it not printing? Whatever. So right, I was just trying to show you guys that I ran into a wall trying to implement the reveal. Like for some reason, I think I have to use Flare for this, and which is good because I was actually planning on using Flare anyways, on learning Flare, and I feel like I could actually eliminate a lot of code by using Flare. But right now, I guess right now I have everything but the reveal, which I'm gonna use Flare for, and I can do. Let me stop this. But yeah, I already created a GitHub. I'm going to create an issue, but I already created like a Stack Overflow just to see like what I can do in the meantime. But right now, like I feel like this is good enough because I've learned a lot. Actually, just creating this, I definitely know how to like model, like design Flutter widgets more, and I've also learned how to like do animations, like a lot of the package sequence animation. I've done it before, but this is the first time I've used like packages like reggetter, the sequence one, and I believe that there was one last one. Oh, the outline material icons. I've never used that, so I feel like I've learned enough that I can kind of show it out there and say, hey, this is what I can do without Flutter, and then just release another video that says this is what I can do with Flutter. And I feel like an imperfect accomplishment is better than a perfect procrastination. And I just wanted to get something out there. But right now, this is what we have. Like this is what we have. It's just this, like, for now. I'm going to learn Flutter. I mean, I know Flutter well. I'm going to learn Flare, and I'm going to just increase on this. And yeah, that's probably going to be my next video. And then hopefully by then I should, after that one, I'm going to pick out a new UI challenge. But yeah, this was really fun. I really like it a lot. And I hope you like it too. If you do, like, comment. If you think there are better ways of doing stuff, please let me know. I really want to learn new ways of doing this. If you, I'm gonna publish this on like a public repository. I'm gonna link that to not the comments, but like the description. Yeah, the description. And I'm also gonna like put stuff where you can like follow me and stuff. Like I have a stream where like I learn all this. I don't know if you like, I wasn't trying to hide this, but I've already done this before. I just didn't sit down and bang this out right now. Now I'm not that good a developer yet. But yeah, I already practiced it. That's gonna be my Twitch stream is gonna be in the show notes as well. So if you want to come chill out, have someone in the background while you work on your own stuff, yeah, sure. And also, I can a lot of the stuff I did do here, for example, the color, I actually learned it from one of the Twitch streamers. So please, yeah, like, if you can teach, if you want to like just learn Flutter, show me what you've learned. I'm always available, and I have my Twitter. I will put all that stuff in the show notes. Not the show notes. I listen to way too much podcast. I will put that in the description. But yeah, thank you guys for coming. And yeah, this is my first video. I made kind of some mistakes. Well, hopefully mistakes I can edit out, but we'll see, right? And yeah, subscribe, like, all that junk. My name is Fawaz, and I will catch you on the flip side. Thank you guys.